Hey guys, it's Richard at Altfins. I have a quick market update and also a follow-up to our short selling video that we published a week ago as a way of hedging your market risk. So last week has been choppy and mostly down, particularly after the new strain or variant of coronavirus was disclosed coming out of South Africa area. Markets, risk assets took a step down across the board, including equities and some of the technology stocks, as well as risk assets like cryptocurrencies. So if you look at what happened to Bitcoin during the last week or so. So here's that downtick right here, and we haven't rebounded from that, and that really goes across the board. Ethereum as well took a big sharp step down and hasn't recovered. That's one of the narratives. The other narrative is that there is increased concern around rising inflation around the world, really, and that perhaps it could force the central banks, particularly the Fed in the US, to start pulling back on the easy money policy and perhaps start raising interest rates. That would make the cost of money obviously higher and could have a negative impact again on some of the risk assets valuations. I think that the Fed will continue to communicate lower for longer message, meaning that it will not raise interest rates in 2022 despite the rising inflation. We can have a quick look at the trends for their major altcoins. As we can see here, Bitcoin has mixed trends, down on the short term, neutral on the medium, and up on the long term basis. Ethereum is slightly better off. Binance is up across all 3 time horizons. Solana still up on the medium and the long term basis. Cardano has completely reversed and is down across short term and medium. So here you can quickly kind of get a sense of how the trends look like for the major coins. Have reversed from the uptrend that we were seeing about a month ago across the board. So clearly we are experiencing correction. So far it still looks as it's just a correction in an uptrend, but we are for many coins at critical levels. Support levels. For Ethereum, it's about 4,000. For Bitcoin, about 54, 55,000. And so breaking below these could spell some trouble and an additional leg down in the market. But if we look at the world of cryptocurrencies, let's look at the signal summary, where we summarize the number of coins in an uptrend or downtrend, and this is a quick way of taking stock of what's going on in the market here. The number of coins on a daily time interval that are in a strong uptrend across short, medium, and long-term time horizons is about 164, and that's certainly lower than it is in a downtrend, 380. And if we look at on the short-term basis, that's 294 versus 840 here in a downtrend. So certainly way more coins are now in a downtrend on the short-term basis than in an uptrend. That also holds for the medium term. And on the long-term basis, we're still seeing more coins in an uptrend than in a downtrend. So it's still, I would say, in an indication that in the long term we're still on an uptrend. This is not a bear market yet, but simply a correction. Having said that, it is good to manage your risk. We talk about managing risk in the lesson 9 in our education program. For those who have annual plans, have access to the education webinars, and also the education program subscribers have access to the webinars, which is right here under the education tab. This is where we have the lesson links. But as you can see, lesson 9 talks about risk management. Lesson 10 talks about margin account trading and short selling, which last week we published a video about short selling and how to use short selling, really not for speculation, but for hedging the market risk. And we in fact did 3 short sell trades, and we can take a look at how those did. So I did those on Binance. So if I go to the margin section, we did isolated margins. So again, something that we explained in the lesson, but I think we explained in the video last week as well, that I recommend using isolated margin accounts because that limits your risk. But we did 3 short trades, and we can see that those in the last 7 days have generated about a 10% positive return, while the market is clearly down in the last week. And so again, I did these trades to protect some of the long positions. If you have long positions, if you own some cryptocurrencies because you think they're going to go up, but now we're in the choppy sort of choppy consolidation phase of the market, and we don't know if this is just some consolidation that could turn into something more serious, then it may warrant as a risk management and hedging strategy to short some of the weak altcoins out there that have been downtrending even in the uptrend, in the market uptrend. Some of the coins have been downtrending, so there's every reason to believe that these coins will be negatively impacted and have a big drawdown if the market corrects even more. So short selling some of the weakest performers is the way that I hedge my long positions and my portfolio against some market risk. And we can see these 3 positions, some are generating, well, this is a 7-day profit and loss. Some, they're all in the plus. And in total, like I said, is about a 10% increase. So, I mean, these are small amounts, but this really, more than anything, is I wanted to demonstrate how to use short selling. So if you don't know how to short sell, I recommend that you either watch the lesson 10 of our education program or also watch the video from last week. But what we also demonstrated in terms of finding coins that are ripe for short selling, we created and saved, here's my saved filter, which says show me all the coins that are in a downtrend on the short-term, medium, and long-term basis, but are not oversold. So RSI 14 is above 30. Trade on Binance because that's where I trade, and then that the 1-day performance is greater than 0. So we basically want coins that are trading up and we want to short them. If we look at some of the results from this filter, we've got flow, decreed, and a few other candidates right now that fit this criteria. Today, most of the coins across the board are trading down, so perhaps today is not the best day to be shorting. Perhaps we can wait for a day when the market is up, bounces up, but this is certainly one way to hedge your market risk. I hope that helps everyone. If you have any questions, please email us at invest@altfins.com.